The next thing that we'd like to talk to you about is actually where to shop for food. So in so many of the conversations that we have with clients, one of the areas that they want to streamline their spending on is on grocery shopping. So this is a conversation specifically about that versus dining out. And we want to share with you just some of the different resources as far as actual stores that are good for maybe shopping for one particular thing rather than another. And one thing I want to be very careful about as we're going into this conversation. I was talking earlier about how I'd rather stick a fork in my eye than talk about politics. There are many folks out there that would rather stick a fork in their eye than walk into a store, let alone the idea of these two people in an office in California are telling you to go into multiple stores for multiple things. That is not the case. Part of when we're talking with clients, getting to know them, is we get an understanding of what their capacity is for that. And if they say, nope, I hate grocery shopping, so that's great. Then one of the things that we'll do is we'll have them shop at one place. Most often have them spend for the delivery.
Yeah,
right?
And that way they don't have to do that. A lot of communities have professional shoppers for things like groceries, and you order online. You don't even need to talk to somebody. You just say, I want 5 tomatoes, 3 oranges, and a ribeye steak, and they put it in a bag and they deliver it to you.
Yeah, exactly. So this is not, in order to live a savvy life, you do not have to go to 7 different stores in order to make your purchases. The other thing that I want to be very clear of, and this is the second time I've said this today because I was talking with clients earlier, this is not about driving across town to save 10 cents on a can of corn. That is not savvy living, because living a savvy life is about being purposeful with your time as well as with your money. And so there is a balancing act to it. Now, that being said, I'd like to share with you initially my habits around grocery shopping. Okay.
She's a master at it.
I have multiple black belts in grocery shopping. So the first thing is that I tend to shop twice a week. I shop on Tuesdays. So I shop today's Thursday. I just lost a day. So I tend to shop on Tuesdays, and I buy my groceries for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then I shop on Friday for my groceries for the weekend plus Monday. I live in the middle of suburbia. I've got grocery stores very available to me. I live 3 blocks from the one that I shop at the most. So for me, this is what works. A lot of other people, it's a haul to get to the grocery store. So doing one big shop for them is what's going to make more sense. I like breaking up my shop because I find that I forget less. I have less to plan. I'm just planning for the next couple of days. Okay.
And it gets you through the checkout counter quicker if you have fewer items.
Yeah, and I'm in and out because I know exactly where I need to go. So that being said, so there are 3 different stores that I tend to shop at on a regular basis. So the first one, the majority of our stuff is at Safeway. A lot of folks, you have a Vaughn's, Lucky's. What are some of those other major grocery stores? Any
chain kind of middle level grocery store. So we're not talking about a Whole Foods or I guess Donardi's is another big one. I'm not sure what the big ones are around the world, but we're not talking about the big designer expensive grocery stores. We're talking mid-level grocery stores.
Yeah. It's always ours is always well stocked. I have to be very careful about when I go because I live in one of the most population dense places, and if I go on the wrong day, I spend an extra half hour in line, and that is no exaggeration.
So don't go on paydays and don't go on the days when Social Security disbursements happen.
Well, it's also Mondays, Saturday, Sunday, Fridays, and I say that I go on Fridays, but I am at my desk working at 6:30 in the morning, so I allow myself to get off work at 3 on Friday.
So you get to go a little bit early.
So I go early, right? So I'm avoiding all of that. So this is all key, because if grocery shopping is for you, then none of this is going to work, right? You've got to figure out what's going to be pleasant, and that's one thing I figured out. So what I buy at Safeway tends to be a lot of my canned goods, a good chunk of my produce. I do get some things at Trader Joe's. When I can get to the farmer's market, I love that. But I never know what I'm going to be able to get at the farmer's market. So there's kind of a balancing act there. What I get at the next store I shop at, Trader Joe's, tends to be things like my spending on things like cauliflower at Trader Joe's is 30% less than what I would spend at a Safeway.
Which surprises me a little.
Yeah. It's a funny thing. Trader Joe's tends to be higher priced on meat items, like by a lot, but they're spending on, or they're pricing on some produces and the vegetables. Uh, Fruit tends to be a little bit higher.
Okay.
Trader Joe's kicks Safeway's butt on dairy products, on milk, on eggs, on what are other things? What are other
Butter.
dairy-like things? Butter, cheeses. You can with the exception of like the big bulk stuff that I get at Costco, all of the cheese that I buy that is more of like at the end of a meal kind of cheese, that's all done at Trader Joe's.
So on that aspect, we really need to do a little bit of research and figure out where the best deals are. It isn't a generic case of, oh, I can always get things here. You have to take a little bit of time and establish where the best deals are for the different stores that you have access to.
Yeah. So one of the key items for you, if this is something that you're trying to get your arms wrapped around, is to create a price book. What a price book is just a list of the things that you buy normally. And as you are buying those items, you're just taking a note of what those prices are. And then you can start to go from one store to the next and say, okay, so I know that I can get this on sale here, cheaper. It sounds like a lot of work, but here's the deal. This is what it all boils down to. Most people, by helping them talk them through this, we are able to help them save, on average, anywhere between 20 and 30% off their grocery bill.
And that can be a lot.
If you think about it, like what your spend on groceries is for an entire year, that's a vacation. Yeah. I mean, that's serious money. Yeah. So this isn't, again, it's not about like, oh, I saved 30 cents on this particular thing. It's like, I'm going on this crazy trip to wherever it is that I want to go because I was a smart shopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, a big part of our grocery shopping is done at Costco. And I can tell you for a fact, what I buy at Costco saves our family 50% on those items over other places that we purchase.
Yeah.
And I can do on the notes, if you're watching this in the future on YouTube, I will do a rundown actually of the things that I buy at Safeway versus Trader Joe's versus Costco. Big thing about stores like BJ's, Costco, Sam's Club is you got to walk in with blinders on. Because that's how they actually make their money, on those lost leaders of the things that they sell so inexpensively. Big screen TV. I saw every time I go in, I see somebody walk out with a big screen TV.
Yeah, they're very good at that. Yeah. Now, one of the things that another aspect that I think you always have to be careful of is sometimes you'll want to buy specialty ingredients, and sometimes you'll have to go to specialty stores to get those. What you have to remember is that you're only going into that store for that product because you can't get it anywhere else, and you don't want to wait and buy it off of Amazon or someplace else on the internet. Again, the idea of blinders again, because specialty stores don't have loss leaders, but they have all kinds of really cool stuff. And it's very easy to walk in there. And I came here because this recipe calls for Himalayan sea salt, and we absolutely has to be Himalayan sea salt. I have no idea if Himalayan sea salt is even a real thing.
It is.
I think it is.
Sea salt.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure. It shouldn't be. Yeah, they're Himalayan salt. Anyway, so okay.
There's no sea. Is there seas
in
the Himalayas?
Well, there's no ocean. There might be a sea.
Exactly.
Anyway, they're all right, I need to buy this. I'm going to go buy this. Yes, it costs $10 for a little tiny thing, but it's going to make the meal. Great, I'm going to go and do it. But I cannot get distracted by the exotic mushrooms and the saffron that is handpicked by Indian monks and everything else, because it's cool, but that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So you really have to be careful going to specialty stores and just go do that.
Because that's when you start kissing your trip goodbye.
Yeah, you can spend a lot of money. You can spend a lot of money on food items. Yeah. I had two other things. One is I wanted to loop back with your discussion about driving across the city for a can of corn. One of your favorite stores is in California is Winco, and it's just a grocery store that has really good products and incredibly good prices, and it works out convenient for you because your family lives in Fresno. Mm-hmm. When you go down to Fresno, you go to Winco, and you go on a shopping adventure and buy all the stuff there.
It's by Disneyland.
Yeah.
It is not, but it's so what's wonderful about Winco, and they are starting to get across more of the country, so I feel comfortable not teasing you guys about it, is that it is employee owned, they're very well cared for. I do not like shopping in an environment where, so there's certain clothing retailers that even though I know I can get better deals, I won't walk into because I don't enjoy the experience. So keeping that in mind, it is the size of a Costco. They're massive.
They're giant.
And yeah, so when I go down to visit my mom, that is part of the part of our process is we will go there together, and I have my Winco shopping list, and I easily save 40% when I go there. So I'll stock up on all my canned items. I look like a prepper when I go, and I always have to feel the need to tell the cashier, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm just stocking up. I'm not going to a silo.
Now, on the other hand, there's a Winco in my area, but that's a very loosely defined area. It's about 40 miles away from me. And at one time, my wife used to work over there. So once a week or once every other week, she'd stop by on the way home and do our shopping there. I don't go there unless for some other reason we're going in that direction. Because why am I going to drive 80 miles round trip to go grocery shopping? Again, it would have to be incredible savings to justify that expensive time and money. That's what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So, a lot of this is we're creatures of habit, and very often we are doing the same things because we've always done them, and we're in the trenches, and we can't even have a hard time kind of coming out to see if there's another way. What we're suggesting to you is if spending on food for groceries is something that you want to change, consider taking a couple steps back and maybe looking at other stores where you might be able to price compare, see if it's worth it. You may be going to a store right now for just a couple of items and realize, you know what, if you gauge your time and money, it's not worth it. And, we were talking again, for those folks, it makes perfect sense. You're going to spend maybe 20% more, but buying everything at the grocery store is just going to save you that time. That being said, though, there's a lot of fun in going to stores like Asian markets. So we live in the San Francisco Bay Area. There's a large Asian community. So there's a lot of really cool Asian stores around here, and you can get produce so cheap. The Mexican market's the same thing. And there's a lot of really phenomenal family-owned, franchised Mexican markets. And it's fun. You're buying stuff, and it gives you an opportunity to try things you wouldn't normally buy.
And you're supporting fairly local businesses, which is always nice.
Yeah, exactly. So anything else that we want to talk on this topic? Because, I could go for another 5 hours.
I think that we've got.
You're going to save them?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. So as far as wrapping today's show up, one thing to let you know is we will not be broadcasting next week because I'm traveling for a speaking engagement. And then the following week is Thanksgiving.
So we'll be with our families.
Yep. So we'll see you guys in December, which is crazy to think about. And guess what? In December, we can talk about holiday shopping.
Once we're done with Thanksgiving, then we can move on to Christmas. There's an order of things.
Yes, there is. So no Santa talk until then. So that also want to wrap up with just where they can find us on the internet outside of here.
So please go visit our website, thesavvylife.com. We have our articles posted there. We have links to the video channel and a lot of resources there. You can also sign up for the list. That is our weekly newsletter where you will get to see, again, the fresh articles that we produce, plus 3 tasks, homework assignments that you can do that are very practical and oriented to helping you live a savvy life right now. You do these things right now, and they will get you on the track. So we talk a lot about philosophy here, and even in some of our articles, these things are real practical. Do these things, and it will make your life more savvy and help you manage your money and your time better. We're on the most of the social networks. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. And if you are viewing this on YouTube, then please do like and subscribe so that we know that we're providing good content and keep doing that.
And check out our other videos on there. And I finally remembered another session what I wanted to talk about, which is that idea of maintenance mode and staying excited about your new savvy habits. We're a perfect resource for that between all the articles that we write on The Savvy Life, between that list that is coming to you every single week, keeping you motivated. And then again, I think at this point we've got close to 30 videos uploaded. So you can go and
all different topics.
Pick a topic and check it out. All right. All right, everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday,
Yes.
and we'll talk to you in December.
Bye.
Okay, bye.